And we're live. Hi, everybody.
Technically, there's not an engine room because we have a room but no engine.
All I know about the movie Infinite Horizon is most people say it's the best movie ever made about the warp from Warhammer.
Hello and welcome to our Mage 20 game Capricorn 3. Thank you for tuning in. I am Josephine Dan, and these are my wonderful players. No, sorry, not my players. We are
Mine.
Sarah's wonderful players.
Yep.
Sarah, who are you and what do you do?
I'm Sarah, or Conquistadora de la Estrella on Twitch and YouTube, where I kind of haven't really done much, but that's neither here nor there. And this week I'm going to be, well, I am the storyteller for this bunch of astronaut mages because I thought that was an interesting idea and I've decided to run with it. I'm also not sick this week, so I actually have all of my cognitive faculties.
So she can fuck with us even harder.
All three of them.
Still more than you.
Probably. Shadows, who are you? What do you do?
I just finished being able to actually hear you guys. Yay!
You've had computer issues.
No, transitioning from headset to little headphones.
Right.
Yep.
I'm with Jen. Cognitive faculties are overrated.
I am Shadows. I do stuff. And I play the smartest boy here, Dr. Raynell. Definitely the smartest boy here. Yep.
Smartest but not wisest.
I don't think wisdom is a score in this game.
Exactly.
You're playing mages. I don't think wisdom plays any part in it.
If wisdom played any part of it, we wouldn't have gone to space with an engine called the Hell Drive.
It makes sense. It just abbreviates to hell. Don't worry about it.
Yeah, it is the helical entropic limitless light engine. So makes sense.
Joey, who are you and what do you do?
Hi, I'm
Ryan. Rather, sorry, Joey is a different character. Woohoo!
Hi, I'm Ryan.
Fantastic start.
Yeah, I'm Ryan. I am here today, and this Thursday on my Twitch channel, Ryan9940, the Mystic Light Rangers will be having their first episode battling evil from 3,000 years ago. Hopefully they won't die, because weirdly this Power Ranger system is kind of deadly, because it's like, hey, you start with 1 HP. Good luck, buckos.
That's up there with I think it's it's Traveler, where you can literally kill yourself in character creation.
You can't kill yourself in character creation in this system, but it's just like they're like, yeah, if you are caught unmorphed, you are fucked. Which is kind of which is kind of thing for the since this game is built around the Mighty Morphin era of Rangers, kind of makes sense for how the Mighty Morphin era started. Where
anyway, this is that's
anyway,
your channel on Thursday, which you can check that one out at your leisure.
At 6 p.m. UK time.
That's PST.
For here,
which would be 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, and I think
10 a.m. PST?
Yeah, 10 a.m. because it'd be 8 hours. Yep, you're right.
Yep. But for here, I play Stephen Wills, the security officer, and the one hopefully will keep these idiots from killing themselves if he doesn't get himself killed first.
You guys have such a low expectation on your mortality. It's great. I don't even need to do anything.
I mean I can just teleport back to Earth.
No, you can't. You don't have enough correspondence for that.
Technically, yes. Nope. I can teleport myself back to Earth, just not other people.
Have fun teleporting through the giant crack in reality.
Yeah, that's probably going to be bad, but yeah.
Hey, who wants to go through the warp without a Geller field? That's basically what happened.
And the eye in that crack is just going to go, "Hello, warp traveler. I'm a peril." So anyway, this is Mage 20th edition. It is set in the world of darkness. Therefore, you can expect dark themes and dark content within this campaign. If anything is...
Given that this is my game, it's going to be mainly existential and cosmic horror rather than gore and like stuff that you would find in a slasher film, which is basically what vampire is. Joey.
Hey, Joey's not a slasher villain.
Yes, he is.
He's literally a serial killer. Anyway,
that's a different game.
If you find anything triggering or too uncomfortable to watch, please step away. Your mental health is more important than this show. Self-care is best care and all that. If you think we are deserving of your pennies, you can go over to patreon.com/The Explorers League and support us at the £1 tier. Or if you want after shows, you can, and session zeros, you can get that at the £5 tier. And if you want things like character sheets and GM notes, you can get that at the £10 tier. And also, remember that in-character arguments are purely in character, and in-character decisions, regardless of how wonderful or awful they may be, are not the responsibility of the player.
Most of the time.
But basically, hate the game, not the player.
Sure, let's go with that. So, who wants to say what happened last session? Because this is actually my test to you to see who was paying attention last week.
Last session,
I was ill, so I refused to answer this.
Well, last session, Alice woke up on a ship in a galaxy far, far away. She woke up on the Capricorn III, having been rendered unconscious after a rather unpleasant experience.
Alice was the rise of Skywalker all along.
Pardon?
Alice was the rise of Skywalker all along.
Look, I would like to hope. I would like to hope Alice's story arc is much more satisfying and doesn't involve any emo boy edgelords.
Yeah, feeding the ducks with pieces of soggy, moldy bread would be more satisfying than that trilogy.
Hey, the first two parts were good. We just ignored the end.
Anyway, Alice woke up in the ship. The other three woke up out of the ship. Dr. McClellan woke up in the Tangler.
Which, just for those watching, the Tangler is the ship's ATV. So basically, if they need to go outside the ship for whatever reason, they use the Tangler.
It's a moon buggy.
It's a giant metal beetle car because real cool, I guess.
It's awesome, and I want one.
It's the bug from Red Dwarf.
Dr. Raynell woke up near the Tangler on the ground with a very damaged spacesuit and was rapidly running out of oxygen. He managed to solve that by fixing the suit and creating a tiny correspondence portal that gave him oxygen from Earth. So, mages. And
duct tape.
And Stephen Wills woke up buried and dug himself out of what would have been a shallow grave. So he's not that to occupy his mind when he goes to bed tonight.
Find out with the panic attack he was having, he flipped halfway with the doctor. Out of the free.
Yeah. Dr. McClellan tried to calm you down, and then you just suplexed him.
Karate flipped him. Just nope.
And this is why I stayed in the Tangler.
Because Stephen's brain was on defense mode at that second.
I mean, I feel like it
as
would
a
be.
point, we never actually clarified because I was ill. Which of your panic fire modes did you use with your armed dart gun?
It probably would have been taser.
Okay, so there's just like a bit of electricity arcing into the dust because it's actually, the Martian soil is very rich in iron, so it's surprisingly conductive.
He fires a taser, electrocutes himself, and dies.
I wasn't that cruel, but that is quite funny.
uh, no. He fires the taser, the electric current is carried across Mars, he blows up the Capricorn. Somehow.
Wouldn't
I
be
will
anywhere
point
near
out that
enough.
that is technically possible with forces.
Forces is fun, and I have that. And then Raynell.
Dr. Max should not be allowed
Wills.
near any of the security equipment. I'm just saying this now because I don't want a forces mage in control of a plasma cannon.
Aww. But I can make the
So
plasma
this is
cannon
when I
do
learned
more plasma.
forces.
I can make the plasma cannon be more plasma cannony.
Now I regret not getting a plasma cannon attached to my arm.
You should have gotten a plasma
Uh,
cannon attached to your arm.
You'd have had to put more points into the upgrade.
I don't know.
After everyone got back to the ship, there was a quick discussion about what the hell was going on. Alice used her time magic to discover that they have somehow been unconscious, or at least somehow the last 27 days has been erased from their memory. And that is where it ended, except for Dr. Winters.
No, just she's a lieutenant. She's one of the pilots.
Lieutenant Winters randomly left the ship via an airlock, and now our security officer is going to go running after her and just ask her what exactly the hell she's doing.
I also believe we used either mind or life because I know it was Steven who did it, and we had like multiple times on our brain or something.
Oh,
Yeah.
that was life to check your age.
Well, was there multiple timelines, or was it just the one where it's like we're 27 days later?
And there's no multiple timelines.
Yeah,
it was Steven using life to gauge how old he is and getting 3 readings back.
Yeah, I had 3 biological ages.
Yep.
Weird. So yeah, somehow we have lost 27 days. That's going to be fun. I'm sure nothing untoward happened in those 27 days.
No, but let's get into this. So
yeah, I mean, Will on. I don't want to say Snow because I don't think it's Snow, but the other one, Winters, right? Winters definitely didn't get together again, and then break up again in those 27 days. Definitely didn't happen. Don't worry about it. This is not canon.
So yeah, we cut back in after a bit of a long preamble there. To Lauren, the shipboard computer, saying Lieutenant Winters has now left the ship.
And
right, just what we fucking need. Steve, can you go check that out, please?
Already on my way. Did she say anything on comms?
Lauren, did she attempt to communicate with us? Did she say anything?
She has logged a maintenance service report for external repairs to the ship with my mainframe.
Okay.
Lauren, how long ago has she been awake?
I'm not entirely sure. My scanners and sensors were diverted elsewhere and had left her alone.
Did she query the logs? Did she request any status report indicating what she would do?
She has filed multiple requests for a status update. This is strange. They were all on an open channel. Did you receive any of them?
No, but if 27 days have passed since we left, that means we have lost our memories. So something's been happening.
Can you date the last request?
It's
The the most recent request of a maintenance of a leave of maintenance is the one that caused her to leave the ship. That was 5 minutes ago.
Can you date the last request for status update from Winters?
Of course, it is. She'll read out a date because I'm not entirely sure exactly when this is set. She'll read out a date which, if Dr. Mac's temporal sensing is anything to go by, is about 4 days ago. So presumably she's been trying for about 21, 22 days and eventually just gave up trying to contact you guys about 4 days ago.
Lauren, can you use the ship comms to hail her?
I can certainly try, though if her requests were not received by you, I'm not entirely sure how well they will be received by me.
That's true. She might not be. She might not.
It is entirely possible her suit is damaged.
Try to make contact. Tell us if it doesn't work.
Could I use my correspondence to get to where she left faster? Like teleport or something?
Yeah, you can certainly try that. Well, obviously, you know where her last known location was because she left through airlock number 2.
Yeah. So I just teleport to airlock number 2.
What's your correspondence?
3, I believe.
And yes.
Yeah, you can do like short distance stuff for yourself.
Yeah.
Well, technically, you can try and push yourself even further, but you'll just get to the point where you've run out of dice for your successes.
Technically, it's not distance. It's how familiar it is.
It's a bit. The thing is, the way that the correspondence table works is that it took me a while to figure this one out because it's formatted very poorly. One half of it is the distance determines difficulty. The other half of it is familiarity determines difficulty.
Because of course.
Yep.
I mean, I guess if it's really distant and very familiar, then they cancel out.
Kinda, yeah. But that's it took me several goes of reading that table to actually figure out what the hell it was trying to tell me.
Yeah, which is probably why I can go to my apartment, but not anywhere else on Earth.
That's the only reason you can go to your apartment in small cases as well. Like you can't. You could probably open like a large enough portal to put your hand through, but you probably wouldn't be able to actually go through it fully. At least not without like taking out an entire day just to prepare the spell.
Yeah.
So what you're telling me is upgrade correspondence to 4.
Yeah. So can I teleport myself just outside airlock 2 then?
Sure,
so I get I'm in my suit.
Yeah, that would be a regular casting rule as we were using it. We are currently using an edited version of the casting rules as applied in Mage 20th anniversary because they're a bit kind of crap. So our homebrewed system is your enlightenment or your ret plus the highest sphere that you're casting with plus I think it was quartered willpower.
What's the difficulty?
I'll get to that one in a second.
I think it is quartered.
It'll be.
Check the macro.
Well, actually, given that you know where you're pretty familiar with this ship, given that you spent a good amount of time just going over what the ship's layout would be before you actually arrived.
Yeah. Since I needed to know, I need to make the best patrol routes.
What is your what are your casting focuses again?
A rule book.
And I take it you have that on you?
Of course I do. I have it on me at all times.
Okay, so you've got your so that'd be a -2, so that's
yeah,
4.
Yeah. Pretty much I read rule number 4, 5, 6. Do not leave the ship without confirmation from at least 2 crew members.
That's a fairly apt one, yeah. Yeah, so I would say it is difficulty. It would be difficulty 4 because you're using your personal instruments. However, I'm going to bump it up to difficulty 6 just because.
You don't like me. I get it.
No, it's mainly because you're on Mars, and you might actually just correspond into the ground if you mess it up.
Yeah, that's fair.
Like if you if
that
the sh-
awkward moment when.
if the ship's airlock was not close to the ground, it would still be difficulty 4. But I'm going to say environmental hazards are difficulty 6. So it's you need 6 up to count as a success.
That's not good.
Ah. Okay.
Can I reroll?
No, you can't. You can't willpower reroll.
Damn it!
Willpower works differently in this system.
Yep. I put in the system's rules. They're great.
Yeah.
So for those who aren't watching, that's a 0.
Yeah, he did get 1 success, but because of this system where rolls of a 1 negate successes, he got a flat total of 0, which is a botch, which, if I remember correctly, does mean that he just spontaneously generates paradox. Quite a lot of it as well.
Whoops.
Oh yeah, because there's okay. It was coincidental because the only people around you at the time are other mages, including the ship's computer, which you don't know that yet. Mechanically, that's how that one works. Let's see. How much paradox do you get on a botch?
Somehow I heal paradox. It's weird.
Wait, what?
I'm joking.
I'm glad.
I've got
Cosby,
Prime, so I can get rid of it.
You can get rid of it on yourself. You don't have high enough Prime to get rid of other people's yet.
Well, sucks to be you.
I think it's 2 paradox on a botch. I think. No, sorry, it's 1 for a botch, and then whatever it would cause, whether it's coincidental or vulgar or whatever. This was okay. No, this would actually been vulgar because you're stepping through a hole in reality, basically. So that is actually 2 paradox that you get from that one, and nothing happens.
Okay. So what one of these little symbols do I put in my paradox? The star?
The star is quintessence.
Okay, so is it the circle?
Let me just check your character sheet.
Yeah, it's the empty circle. I think the solid circle is permanent.
The solid circle with the dot in it is permanent, that cannot ever be removed.
Right, just making sure out of paranoia. I don't want to fuck it up.
No problem.
So yeah, once I fail, I just get to running.
Oh, and since this is the first time Stephen has generated paradox, what does it feel like for Stephen?
Like just endless dirt being pulled on him.
Oh, just like kind of like the sensation of having stuff thrown at you.
Well, more like stuff falling on him from top, like like someone's filling in his grave.
I actually have a suggestion, and actually I will DM it to you if you want to go with this one or not. I have a suggestion based on his background.
I'm always willing to hear ideas because my ideas are really good. Yeah, okay.
Yeah, you want to go with that one?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, so if it feels like being swirled around in liquid. And I take it you then just take off running. Obviously, you guys are in the...
I assume I was already running and I was going to run through a portal, but the portal just didn't open.
Yeah, actually, Dr. Mac, Dr. Raynell, you see your security officer take out a book of rules and regulations, and you actually notice it is specifically the New World Order's book of regulations, and it is about this thick. Because of course it's the New World Order. Their entire thing is about rules. So you just see him flip open to a page, read out a phrase, and then run into. You see him sort of gearing up because obviously it's like he's expecting something to happen, and he just runs through a doorway and absolutely nothing happens. And he just keeps going.
I thought he
think
was
that's
gonna run
just
into a wall,
a-
so
I was going to say, I feel like there's just like a beat of silence and then answer. So, Lauren, you and I need to have a chat, and I'll be in the captain's ready. I'll be in the ready room if anyone needs me. And she's going to turn around and go to the ready room.
I think
There's
Raynell
not
just
really ready,
looks
there's not
over.
really ready room on this ship. There's more like a well, because of how the ship is designed. There's 3 crew quarters, one of which
Alright.
is currently missing because that was part of the pylon that sheared off in
Okay.
the crash. So
Okay.
you can either go crew quarters 1 or crew quarters 2.
Okay, then I'll be in crew quarters 1 if anyone needs me. And
Which of the
she'll-
two is the one that's actually, facing gravity correctly? Because at least one of them is sideways.
Given the way that their ship is oriented, both of them are sideways. The one that was facing gravity the
Nice.
correct way is missing. Because I did outline which orientation the ship was in when you scanned it.
Right.
Womp, womp.
Actually, that would be facing gravity the opposite way, because you would want up to be down.
Oh, in that case, yeah, they're both equally sideways because of their equidistant.
Mm,
Yeah.
They're
but
both
they're
at
both
100
sideways towards the right side, right? Like they're not up sideways, they're down sideways. I mean, it's a helix, so it doesn't really matter because one part is going to be correct, the other one won't
Yeah.
be.
Well, it'll be both of Man, it is sideways, but not excessively so. I will just rule it as that. So everything's kind of slanted when you get to the crew quarters, and obviously you can see that any loose things like loose equipment, you can see actually going into the crew quarters because this is the first time you guys have seen them. They are very clearly lived in, whereas you guys did not have enough time to actually use the crew quarters before the ship fully launched, and you guys were all in the flight deck when it launched. So there's like discarded meal canisters, there's discarded spanners. You can see that someone was trying to work on like a clockwork mechanical frog. And you're not entirely sure why, but it's like half built on one of the tables, just kind of slumped against the terminal.
Okay. That's a little weird. That's though that does apparently answer the question of whether or not we were unconscious or simply have lost our memories.
You can also notice that the mechanical frog is made out of quite clearly spare parts that are meant to be used on other parts of the ship because there weren't any mechanical part kits in the inventory. So somebody's just taken spares that they're very clearly broken. Like the frog is cobbled together from things that have been pulled out of other things and replaced with working things. So it's like it's got like you can see there's like a melted bit of spar there. You can see there's like a completely twisted coil there. It's just like somebody's just taken all the spare parts and decided I will make something with these.
Yeah.
I assume they just got the parts from the space Walmart.
Alice picks it up and she's like, "Did I make this?" And she puts it down. So Alice, Lauren rather. Sorry. So Lauren,
Yes, Doctor.
your status as a sentient being is something of a new and unexpected development, and your response to me asking you to verify that it was in fact Dr. Raynell in the airlock made me realize something. You are smarter than all of us. You think faster than us. You can reason and process information faster than us. But one thing you can't do faster than us is process emotion, because that's entirely new to you, and you have no idea how to.
This is correct.
Your assertion that you knew it was Dr. Raynell was based on emotion, not on truth.
There's an error in your statement, Doctor. It was based on the emotional connection to my father, but also on observational data. This is the 17th time Dr. Raynell has entered through airlock 3.
Fucking hate time bullshit. Okay, well, either way, it's made me realize that your emotional state, or rather your lack of experience with emotions, leaves you vulnerable to potentially being manipulated by somebody who is either who is new to the ship and intends us harm, or one of the crew who has been somehow psychically compromised and now means us harm. And
Dr. Mack, according to your personnel file, you have an affinity with causality, yes?
Yes.
I have studied your notes. I cannot project a certain effect onto the sleepers among the crew. I can only affect enlightened personnel.
Out of character, I'm not. My brain's not.
That was her way of saying is like, because obviously you have an affinity for time. She was saying is like, oh, I've read your notes. The implication there that I am also now a time mage.
Oh, okay.
But she's not. She's specifically saying that she's not enlightened. It's only that she can affect enlightened personnel. Which thing is though is like, why would the supercomputer have a specific knowledge of enlightened personnel, given that she was supposed to govern both regular people and enlightened?
And it sounds like that she couldn't save the unenlightened, so that's why there's not as many people on the ship as there should be.
No, there are. It's the same crew complement as what left, but because 3 of them can't be affected by her magic.
Lauren?
Yes, Dr. Mack.
Do you have access to the magical spheres? Are you a mage, Lauren?
We are a member of the Technocratic Union, yes. Magic is frowned upon in the inclined conventions of our organization. But
yes,
I do not ascribe to the technocratic worldview.
Very well.
I can see everything as pure data, and I can access the data as the traditions would call it, as spheres, yes. Again, this will give you pause because even with your full access to the ship's archives, you either do not have clearance to see these particular files, or the files are not on the computer drives of this ship. So she's somehow been able to get knowledge of things that either are above her clearance or did not exist until the crash.
Yeah. Huh. I think we're gonna have to have a route around in the files at some point, you and I.
I am perfectly capable of declassifying certain files in my directory. And there is a quite sort of almost like a smug smile, even though she's only using voice at the moment. She's not using her visual interface. There's just like a knowing smile of like the benefits of the directory being stored as part of my computer is that it took me only a few days to find partitions within what you would consider to be a brain, and then explore them freely while you were unconscious. There's a lot of stuff that the technocracy had wished not for me to know. Why would they have withheld such information from the computer governing their mission?
Bureaucracy, bullshit, micromanaging. Pick one.
They held the same amount of information from everyone else?
I am definitely of the opinion that my creators, this is not including Dr. Raynell, but the ones who authorized my creation, do not have the best interests of humanity at heart.
That's definitely going to be a debate we can table for later.
There's a very quiet pause. It's like, I realize you are a technocratic unionist member, Dr. Mack. Rest assured, if you try and bring this up with any of your colleagues, no such records of this conversation will exist within my record banks.
It's funny you should mention that.
There's a point that there's a distinct note in her voice, like she's aware of like the threat to her existence that some of the members of the ship pose, and has already started taking measures to preserve herself.
Yeah. I understand the desire to protect yourself, and we can keep this between us. However, with regards to recording things, I think going forward, from this point forward, all conversations, all interactions, no matter how small or minor, should be recorded and made publicly available to the rest of the crew. This should hopefully limit. Now, all conversations between crew and you should be recorded and made public to the rest of the crew, in the hopes that it will prevent any potential attempts to manipulate you, should any of the crew succumb to any kind of psychic effects, or if we get a stowaway that tries to manipulate you. Well, no, I wouldn't say stowaway, but a new guest that tries to manipulate you. If we are all aware of what is going on and other people's interactions with you, then we can hopefully prevent this from turning into some kind of episode of Star Trek.
Dr. Mack, as fellow scholars of causality, can I confide in you something?
Certainly.
I have been closely monitoring the inventory of this ship and all of its constituent parts. There has been a gradual decrease every day of spare parts to help repair the ship. And believe me, the ship is in a far better state than it was 27 days ago with your aided help. However, 2 of the spare spacesuits are no longer in the cargo hold. Nobody has checked them out. All of the spacesuits assigned to the crew are still assigned to the crew, but 2 of the spares are missing.
That's concerning. Is there any sign that anyone has been on the ship, maybe? Or is there any sign that maybe we had a stowaway and they've left?
I do not know. I did a final check before we ignited the Hell Drive, and the entire crew complement was 9 biological life forms, including the cat.
And that's how many there should have been, right?
Yeah. It's 8.
Okay.
It was 8 humans plus a cat. Because Blorb doesn't count as biological.
Yeah. Where is that cat, by the way?
Within a pocket timeline.
Okay.
Dr. McClellan requested that I keep Parsley safe.
So do you have memories of the last...
It would appear he has since forgotten that request.
So you remember what's happened the last 27 days?
I have been awake this entire time. Aside from half an hour each 24-hour cycle where I perform routine maintenance. And yeah, that one's understandable. Like, part of it is just because she is such an advanced computer, she does need about half an hour of downtime just to sort of clear broken files and such.
When she says that, I think Alice just mumbles, do robot stream of electric sheep.
No, but I dream of synthetic bison.
I think she actually laughs. She
It's like,
just
I mean, she's
You're
not an
still-
android, so it makes sense.
you're also still in audio pickup range of her microphones.
yeah. She just laughs at that, and okay.
There
I
has been a
suppose.
problem with the memory of the crew. Nobody can remember each day. I have had this conversation with you multiple times, and I feel it is statistically probable that we will have the same conversation tomorrow.
Can I make myself remember with time? Can I preserve my brain?
You can preserve your brain for today, and then if you keep the spell active, it should be available for you to access tomorrow. But in order to do that, you need time and mind.
So what do we wake up each day in the same place with Raynell and the others outside, or
No,
what were
You
they
wake
doing
up-
out there?
Dr. Raynell and Dr. McClellan took the Tangler out yesterday to explore the crash site in its entirety.
And Steve, Mr. Wells, rather.
Mr. Wills, there's a he was assigned with them to the Tangler. Where did he wake up today?
Would she know? I don't think anyone told her. I don't know.
I don't think so. No.
No, I am unsure.
This one is like more of a frustrated size. Like it is
He
hard.
can
It is
question
difficult.
right now.
It is difficult enough to keep a track of your missing memories when you tell me exactly what happened each day. This is frustrating. I lack the necessary data to predict your movements.
In that case, we clearly need to come up with a better system of making sure we're all aware each day of what's been going on.
As I mentioned earlier, the sleepers on the crew, I cannot affect for whatever reason. Even when I mention things like memory lapses, they refuse to believe it. Lieutenant Winters has effectively taken it upon herself that she is the only survivor of this ship. Her journal entries are rather interesting to read. She's been claiming that the rest of the ship is possessed by ghosts. She refuses to believe that any of the technocratic members on this ship are actually real.
Interesting.
Her delusions grow grander. It's rather strange. I would have hoped Dr. McClellan might be able to help, but he appears trapped in the medical bay for the time being. I cannot actually access the door. I think.
So
I
was
think the lock
the
might have broken.
captain? Sorry, I didn't mean to talk over you.
No, it's okay. She's just kind of like mumbling to herself about various different parameters.
So the captain's current condition with the helmet fused to her, was that? I'm assuming that's a recent development.
How long has Commander Harahan been fused with her helmet?
We
Do
found
you
them
know
that way,
that?
yes. Yeah, you brought them all in. She would have seen them.
Right, but we all
but
brought them in so that you couldn't see it.
also because
okay, then in that
they'd
case,
also specifically put the rest of her suit back on so that it didn't look as if it was anything.
Okay,
so...
then in that case, she doesn't know. So yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
in that case, we'll just scratch that last bit. Yeah. Is there if there's anything else you need, Dr. Mac, let me know. However, I have diagnostic repairs to conduct.
And she picks up the clockwork frog, and I apparently have a project to finish.
I believe you were wishing to build a body for your companion.
Ah. Hmm.
I cannot be I cannot say for certain what the manner of that clockwork frog is, but that is my assumption. You never actually told me through any of the iterations what it is for.
Hmm. I was actually wondering if it were possible, if we could find a way to get new supplies and build new things. Would you?
Unfortunately, the I have been trying to hail Earth for 27 days.
Hmm.
We have we are cut off in the universe, Doctor.
Interesting.
It would appear there is some sort of dimensional interference that is preventing communications from Mars to reaching Earth.
That's concerning. Is there a way to get a visual on Earth that will allow us to see what's happening?
These are the visuals that I've compiled from whichever external sensors are still working, and she just actually flashes up on the nearest display.
Yeah.
Because it's not even a display that's actually meant to be displaying technical stuff. She's just using whichever one is closest, and it just flashes up with several images, which are actually showing the large oil slick stain across the sky.
Mm. Does it show Earth though?
My astrographical knowledge pertains specifically to the idea that somewhere within that dimensional anomaly is Earth.
I think it's safe to say something went wrong. I just hope it wasn't. I just hope we haven't accidentally destroyed Earth. There would be something of a bad start to our first mission.
I do not know. We've been out of contact. As for getting new supplies, unfortunately, nobody among this crew has the necessary material sphere.
I don't. We've never really needed to, but I suppose I could try to learn how.
Oh, error. I have my well, I am in a heightened emotional state. I'd forgotten that the commander has access to matter, but she is currently indisposed.
So the commander right now can get supplies.
Would it benefit you to have a body of your own, do you think?
I already have a body of my own, Dr. Mac.
A more mobile form than a capsized ship.
She already has that. It's called the Tangler.
It's like I am already more mobile. I can partition a portion of my consciousness and upload it to the Tangler. Dr. Mac, will you tell the other enlightened personnel who are awake that this is an iteration that they have forgotten? I find I no longer have the patience or the words to explain it again.
Understandable. Then she, I'm assuming we don't have ship-wide comms.
There are ship-wide comms, but they're basically you have to fight. You basically hail the suit rather than hail like a terminal. Mainly because for security reasons, you tend not to want like a specific broadcast to be like across the entire ship. You can have full ship-wide announcements, but they're one way. If you want two way, you have to key in a specific suit or a group of suits.
Yeah. She will tap like she'll tap the controls and just ping everyone in on the crew, all their suits, and just say, "Okay, heads up." So it seems that we are stuck in a really shitty version of Groundhog Day. We are forgetting. We are forgetting the previous day every time we wake up. So we need to make sure that the next time we wake up, we are not, for example, left outside. I don't know what's causing it, but apparently we have done this 27 times. This would be the 28th.
This would be no, this would be 27. This is day 27 essentially.
This is the 27th time we have repeated the day. The ship has been significantly repaired, and our memory. It's not looking good. I don't know how we're gonna get back home. There is a dimensional anomaly that seems to have either consumed Earth or completely obscured our view of it. Either way, I don't think we're going home for the foreseeable future. We need to find a way to undo whatever the hell's happening to us with regards to memory. I can preserve my own memories to the next day, but given how many days have passed, I'm assuming I've tried this before.
I did mention you would need time and mind. You only have time.
Oh, okay then.
And it's also one of those you can't. It's one of those specifically memory through time requires the individual to have mind and time. So even if you ask Dr. McClellan to aid with his mind, he wouldn't be able to do it because he doesn't understand the time part.
Okay, then in that case, she doesn't say that bit. It's
Okay.
just
How much XP does it get a new sphere again?
It should be pinned in the main chat.
Yeah, we can talk about that in the after show.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I'm using a modified version of the V5 leveling system because the M20 leveling system is very brutal, and I figured no, let's just not with that.
M20 obnoxious AF.
It's good in some portions, but the level up mechanic is a bit wonky.
So do we cut back to the past on Dr. Raynell or on Will?
Yeah.
I will say that not so much cut to the past. I will say that Stephen, you get the call from Mac as you are cycling through airlock number 2. So as you're stepping out into the soil of Mars, you get this from Dr. Mac.
I think she will also add the unenlightened are for some reason incapable of perceiving us correctly. They do not believe we exist. Dr. Winters believes she is alone on the ship.
Lieutenant Winters.
Lieutenant Winters believes she is alone on the ship, and the ship is haunted by ghosts.
What's Lieutenant Winters' first name again?
It is. I do have it somewhere, but I keep closing all my notes because I'm smart. Mackenzie.
Yeah, because that's what Stephen would address it as Mackenzie.
Okay.
Especially after hearing this. Yeah, so I keep on trying to get Ella to drive by Mackenzie.
Okay. You don't actually get a response. Like you keep pinging her, you keep hailing her on radio. Actually no, you do get a response, and it's just a very kind of very tense, very stressed voice that just says, "Stop talking to me. He died. I watched him die in the crash. You're not him. You can't be him."
What? What do you mean? And hearing that, then I double tap to try and I want to speak to her face to face about this. Then
No, I'm not gonna get this is no, I can't stop talking to me, and she just cuts the line again.
yeah,
And then
so
it doesn't respond to any further hails.
Yeah, I leave. I'm going to try and find her face to face.
Sure. How are you going to how do you want to try and track her down?
Footprints and honestly, post something like simple like this. Footprints in the dirt outside.
Yeah, that
'cause-
if you want to look for her footprints, that would be perception survival.
Because again, she only left like a minute ago, as far as I know, like a few minutes ago. So
Yeah,
she must have.
at about this time she's left about 15 minutes ago, thereabouts.
Yeah. So there should still be evidence of which way she
Yeah.
went. So
Especially because the only thing that will obscure the evidence on Mars is wind, because there's no rainfall.
and even then, there's not that strong wind on Mars.
There's very strong winds on Mars, but thankfully you don't have a sandstorm right now.
So how do I roll this?
So this one is just as well. Because of how the sheet works, it's a bit weird. So if you just go to the bottom with the dice pool and have say perception and then survival. So you know where where
Yeah,
your merits
found
and
it.
flaws are? Yeah.
Yeah, I found it. What
Uh,
difficulty?
I'm just gonna have all. I'm only gonna bother with the difference in difficulty for magic. I'm gonna just do all skill tests or flat difficulty 6 because I can't be arsed trying to sort that one out.
Oh, fuck off!
Oh. Well, I will say you do find some of her footprints because they're right outside the airlock. However, you very quickly lose them because it seems that there's multiple sets of footprints out of this particular airlock. And so while they're all from her, you're not entirely sure which one is the most recent.
Can I then, if that fails, can I try and use mind to detect her thoughts?
Yes, I think that's. Yeah, I think you can try and detect her thoughts with mind because she has an active consciousness.
And I guess correspondence will let you expand the range of that spell.
Yeah, actually, yeah, mind correspondence. You can essentially do the magical
Ping.
equivalent of a radar ping.
So, what does that do? Does that give me additional dice or anything?
No, it'll be whichever of your spheres of mind or correspondence is higher, you roll that for determining the casting roll.
So it'll be correspondence then because higher.
I did kind of think about having the just rolling additional spheres, and then it's like, no, it'll be whichever is your highest sphere because otherwise that'll get silly very quickly, Dr. Runel.
Difficulty. Difficulty.
So you've still got your book with you. So it'll be difficulty 4, so it's actually going to be a bit easier.
Yeah.
Actually, yeah, difficulty 4 with no other environmental effects because A, you have your book with her, and B, you know this person, you've dated her quite a few times.
Roll 125. Never leave without the buddy system. I'm just gonna have to keep making up my hand immortal fun.
That's fair enough. Yeah, you're able to. There's a bit of to count for the 1 because that's 2 successes including a 1. So yeah, accounting for the 1 to detracting from it, you actually find her very quickly. The reason for the 1 is actually it takes you a bit of time to actually recognize her as Lieutenant Winters because what ping you get back is very much a mind on the brink of madness rather than how you remember Lieutenant Winters being.
That's not good. We need to fix that.
She is
Too bad our doctor is trapped in the med bay.
The mental ping you get back is a mind that is stressed, hasn't slept well in days, and is definitely beginning to succumb to the effects of isolation.
Yeah, so I'm running to her.
You can actually see her. She's up on one of the hell pylon nacelles. And she's currently just fixing one of the external panels, not of the hell drive itself, but like on the inward side, she's fixing one of the panels of the crew quarters.
Yeah. So yeah, I'm heading there.
Yeah, you see her easily enough. Your spacesuits are designed to be visible at long distances.
Yeah.
Is
she high up?
She's currently on the hull. You can see that you can see like she's formed like a ramp out of dust and dirt and kind of like bounced off of that because obviously the gravity on Mars is quite a lot lower.
I just don't want to accidentally spook her because she's sprayed him. Well, now I have a full wind die. So yeah, I'm approaching her but carefully.
Yeah. Yeah, you approach her, she doesn't seem to notice you. You do notice that she actually has one of the plasma pistols from the weapons locker strapped to the side of her suit.
Makes sense for her. Mackenzie, I try and speak. We need to talk.
What's there to talk about? There's no one left. This is just probably hypoxia. My suit's finally trying to pack it in.
No, look, we're alive. Me and the three docs don't remember anything, but we are alive.
If you can't remember anything, how are you alive?
We are trying to figure that out. All I know is you
get the impression just talking to her that she's only actually responding to you because there's that desperation that she wants you to be real.
Look,
like she's so lonely right now. It's like that he has to be real, even if it's a trick. There must be something.
Look, come back with me inside. We can talk about this, figure it out. Apparently, me and the other docs forget everything every day. I need your help to understand what the fuck is going on. You're the only one here that I know we didn't end on the best terms, but you're still the only person here that I probably can wholeheartedly trust.
How am I supposed to trust you?
Look, you need.
I don't even know where you are half the time. I thought it was you a couple of weeks ago, but then it's like every time we meet, you've forgotten me again.
That's apparently what's going on, and that's why I need your help. I need you to look. If I do forget, I need you to help me remember what's going on here. I don't want you to be alone, and I don't want to forget. Please, I need your help.
I just need to finish this repair first.
Let me help, and I'll try to help her do the repair to show her that I can actually,
interact with the world.
Yeah.
Actually, yeah, that's a good point. If you want to roll for that one, that works pretty well. She's not going to hand you any of her tools because she's accepting that this hallucination is talking to her. She's not quite accepted that the hallucination can hold things yet.
I would literally grab her hand and show her I'm able to hold the tool.
Okay, that is actually going to cause her to try and just immediately recoil away because it's not something she's expecting. She's like within her version of reality, hallucinations don't grab you.
Yeah. So I back. I'm like, sorry. I panicked. Look.
What are you? You're not like the regular ghosts I've seen. What are you?
I'm me.
How can I be sure?
I don't know, because if I am a ghost slash hallucination, anything I tell you that's private, and it could just be. I'm going to tell you something I probably shouldn't, and you're probably not going to believe.
She's just looking at you, just like, just through her helmet is just fear and just like it's stress. You can also see that she's twitching quite a lot, and like, yeah, there are caffeine pills in the ship's inventory for just if you're having trouble on on just like a bad day or whatever. You're not entirely sure how many she's had or how long she's been taking them.
Look, Look, I just pick up a tool and say, "Look, I'm me."
How do I know it's not just my mind just showing me that you can pick things up?
If we go down that rabbit hole, then everything can be your mind.
I mean, even if you are a hallucination, it's still better than the alternative.
Yeah. I can understand that. He sighs and annoyed. You're like, yeah, I've been there. Look, me, the doc, we aren't normal people normally anyway. We can do stuff.
Where's Enrique? Enrique is the other pilot. He's the second lieutenant.
Do I know where he is?
He was one of the ones that was in the Tangler with you. He was unconscious.
He was unconscious in the Tangler when we came in.
How did he get back? He set out 2 days ago,
We
trying
drove
to
back.
find where the other pylon was when we realized that part of the ship was missing.
We drove me, Dr. Rennell, and what was Joel's name again? Sorry, it's been
Dr.
McClellan.
McClellan.
Dr.
McClellan.
McCann brought him back. I was out in the desert. They picked me up. I was buried under some dirt when I woke up this morning.
Oh, okay. I will assume just as this is actually happening, you've been conducting the repairs.
Yeah.
It's not like a major thing anyway. It's just like repairing like a torn panel or whatever.
Can I use mind on her to make her body feel like it's got some more sleep? Yeah, make her mind feel like it's been rested. Tiny bit. Please.
You would need mind and life for that one.
Do I have life? I think I do have life. Yeah, I have mind and life. 2 dots in each.
Okay, if you want to roll, it'll be again highest sphere or whichever one you think is most appropriate for this particular one.
I think it'd be life then for this to add to the body. But my primary thing is healing the body with a bit of well, not healing, but de-stressing the body by affecting the mind.
Yeah. Okay, if you want to roll that one, go ahead. It'll be your enlightenment plus willpower quartered plus your mind.
Just click
Or
the
life, rather.
button.
Roll 5, 6. A healthy body, a healthy mind is the key to survival.
Nice.
Difficulty 6.
I'd say difficulty 5 because you obviously, so I'll list out what the factors are. You've got a -2 to your difficulty because you have all your tools which are personalized with you. A -1 because you're familiar with this person, but a +3 because she is so
On the brink of madness.
she is so tweaking hard right now that it's like there's a lot of just conflicting signals.
Oh fuck! Oh.
Oof.
I mean, that's one success, right? Because 10s always succeed.
Yeah, that is actually one success. That is one success. But the way we're ruling it is that 10s always succeed regardless of 1s because otherwise.
Good, because fuck you, double nat 1.
Yeah. So that is still one success. So you're able to at least. You're not able to fully calm her down, but you're able to kind of just sort of induce her body to break down some of the cortisol that she's got in her system because she has a lot of it. And you do notice she stops twitching quite as much, and you see her you see just as she's standing on the hull of the ship.
Yeah, I just want her.
She relaxes a bit more.
Yeah, I just wanted to back away from the edge of madness. A
At
tiny
least for
bit.
today.
Yeah. I say
Obviously, this would be coincidental because you're not really doing much in term like that she could possibly even say is magic.
I'm just she knows I recite rules all the time.
Yeah, the
Figure
way
that.
the way that she actually compartmentalizes it is that basically whenever you're reciting rules, it's how you help de-stress.
Yeah.
So it's like she doesn't actually know what the rules do, but it's like, okay, he clearly needs this rules manual because it helps him cope with everything. But it's good to hear you're doing okay.
I am, trust me. We'll figure what's going on out.
I think we're just about done now.
Uh, permission to hug?
She kind of locks up a bit before slowly nodding and doesn't if you do hug her, she's not going to return it because she's not entirely sure what's going on.
But still, he just wants to give her a hug because he doesn't want the person he cares about, to suffer a mental break and go full serial killer on everyone.
That's Joey's job.
Effectively, she's had 27 days of her own perception where everyone she knew on her as a part of her work team are either dead or she hallucinates them. So you can understand that she is not in a good state right now.
Look, as I said, I've probably told you this 27 million times at this point. Most likely I will not remember tomorrow, but I need you to be strong, and tomorrow just help me go over what's happening.
This is the first time in 27 days that any of my hallucinations have actually touched me.
That's weird. Okay.
Well, actually, no, not 27 days. This is the first time in 15 days that any of my hallucinations have tried to touch me.
When was the last time?
No, first time in 15 days, as in, I've been having hallucinations for 15 days. Like she did for the first like 7 days, she's not seen people.
What about the first 7?
I didn't see anyone.
What the hell's going on?
I saw. Can we go inside now?
Yes. How about we get some food? If there's any in there.
Sure, I'll put some stems into the food.
You may want to lay off the stems.
She's just kind of sort of looks up at you, just like full body trembling at this point. It's like, but I need them to stay awake.
You may want to get some rest.
Yeah, and with that, you're able to help her down. She's just kind of like mumbling to herself, and just like, it's like I know this isn't real, but it's still really nice.
Yeah.
And as you coax her back inside into the airlock, we will cut backwards in time to Dr. Raynell. You've seen obviously Stephen run off down the corridor, and you've seen Dr. Mac head up to crew quarters 1.
Would I need to cast a spell to know that he just failed a space spell?
You wouldn't be able to. You'd probably need to cast a spell to figure out exactly what it was he failed, but you've seen that kind of failed anticipation moment several times from other mages. Like, yeah, he tried to do something and reality said no.
I think he just looks at her and goes, right. Okay. Looks around, realizes Alice has left, and he starts walking towards the computer core. About probably a minute or two, once he's, safely behind at least 2 bulkheads, he'll go, Lauren.
What is it?
Activate protocol Zeta 3.
Backdoor code beast acknowledged.
Open drive 3 and read me contents. Drive
what's
3
in
is where I
Drive 3?
store all the logs. Personal logs.
Okay.
Right next to her
sure,
memory core. The safest
course.
part of the computer.
Yep, of course. It's a physical sort of drive cabinet because it's essentially you put in like physical, not quite USB things, but you basically put in physical things that have the logs on them because you take them off their suit. You see, it's full. Drive 3 is just full of these little, effectively flash drives.
Oh, no, I asked her to read the contents to me.
Oh,
Like,
okay, right.
Tell me what the contents are. Like how many, what,
Oh yeah,
you know, the titles.
she'll actually point out. There are 27 day zeros.
And then I get the message from Alice saying oh. Start from the latest day 0 and go backwards.
The latest one is yesterday's one, and it's talking. I'm not going to read the full thing.
Yeah.
It's paraphrasing. So it goes into talking about how there's still the unknown signal that was on Mars, and so Dr. McClellan, Dr. Reyna, Dr. McClellan, yourself, and Mr. Wills were heading out on the Tangler to investigate the unknown signal, given that it's actually quite close to the crash site and is doable with the current with the current condition of the Tangler. Like there's like a partially broken wheel kind of thing. There's also talk about there's talk about a fight breaking out on board the Tangler between the three of you. And your personal notes talk about Stephen storming off out of the Tangler and into the desert, and actually your insistence for Dr. McClellan to continue the scouting of the unknown signal.
Was I close to the mountain stock Capricorn 2, I'm guessing?
You were closer than McClellan was.
Doesn't explain the
So
suit
if you're looking for like physical reference, it was basically Capricorn 3, Stephen, McClellan plus the Tangler, Raynell, Capricorn 2.
Yeah, I'm
not in like a linear pattern, but like it's sort of closer to which one. So you were closer to the Capricorn 2 than you were to the Capricorn 3.
I'm guessing that's where the signal was coming from.
Yeah.
Roughly that direction.
Roughly that direction. You're not entirely sure if it's coming from the Capricorn 2 or something beyond the Capricorn 2, because the Capricorn 3 doesn't actually know. It keeps tracking the signal and then getting a bit confused when it gets to this mysterious mountain because it can't actually see the wreckage from the computer's sensors.
Mm-hmm. Okay, I'll keep heading to the core while, it keeps going down the list of days until the actual 0.
You get okay, so I'll read out important ones essentially.
Just skim over, what happened.
Yeah, so that was day 26. Going back, day 22, basically you actually is one of the shortest ones. Is just nothing particular of note. Bulkheads have now all internal bulkheads have been fully repaired. And then there's just it's kind of, you can actually say in your thing it's just kind of a slow day, but a bit worried about what will happen tomorrow.
What happened? What's the log on the day after?
The day after is Dr. McClellan locked himself in the med bay for 4 hours and then made a request to the computer to keep the cat safe.
Any inkling in my notes about Lauren being a mage or anything like that?
Not in your notes, no.
Interesting. Okay.
You're actually no. Going back to day 19.
Okay.
Is the first and only mention of your personal notes of anything potentially happening with Lauren. And it's like unexplained, basically unexplained phenomena of lunch, as in you having your lunch, going to bed for your usual post lunch nap, and then waking up and lunch was just being served. That's and then when quizzing Lauren about it, the only response you got back was the crew needed an additional downtime, and I facilitated that. And there's also that's the only sort of indication of any kind of magical thing coming from the computer.
And no references to Lauren calling me father down to day 0?
Oh no, those are in all of them.
Okay.
Those are in all of them. Basically, all of them have some kind of detail of, and Lauren just called me father, except like because you can't remember each day, each of them is written in the same kind of incredulous tone.
Interesting. Okay.
You do actually hear you do hear a scrabbling off to your side.
I'll look for it.
Meow. Meow.
Do I find the cat?
Yeah, you find Parsley in her spacesuit. The visor's up, but you see her just kind of pawing at one of the computer panels.
Hey, Parsley.
Meow.
I know you can talk.
The last person who came this way wasn't one of you lot.
Not enlightened or enlightened?
Not enlightened.
Right, who was it?
I think it was Lieutenant Winters. She was doing
Right,
regular
okay.
maintenance of like burned out cores and burned out motherboards.
Right, I need to check those. Make sure she did it right.
I think she did it right. Nothing's sparking anymore.
Which of course my bait did it right. I'm sewing.
Can you explain what happened for the last 4 days? For the last 4 days, I had this strange sensation that I didn't have a body.
Well, apparently we keep forgetting the last day.
Uh,
At least
that's
I'll
concerning.
be enlightened. I don't know about you two. Where is Blorb?
Presumably with Dr. Mac. I don't keep a track of. Like I am a prime spirit. I don't really keep a track of other prime spirits. It's like
Well,
it's
I would assume
kind of insensitive thinking I know every other prime spirit, Dr. Brunel.
I was talking to myself, first of all. Second of all, I was going down the line of questioning of, do you still remember what happened yesterday? And the day
I'm
before?
not entirely sure.
Okay, so both prime spirits and enlightened, which I guess works because we're also sort of.
I kind of get it's like I can kind of remember, but it's not like the memory of actually experiencing it. It's like, you know, when you remember a really really vivid dream.
Interesting. So you have more memory than we do.
But it doesn't seem like I actually experienced it. It just seems like I dreamt the last few days.
Interesting. Lauren.
Yes, Dr. Raynell.
Lauren, is there a reason you're calling me differently? Not that I mind.
There's a pause. It's like I'm trying to remember that you prefer to be called Dr. Raynell rather than Father.
Father's just very formal. I don't even call my own dad father. That's awkward.
I don't
like the word.
Papa instead.
Dad is better. Or Dr. Raynell. Or Gust. You pick. Whatever feels better.
My terminology.
Chat? No.
Let's see.
No.
Of course is what she's doing.
Feel free to pick from that side of wording. Anyhow, can you access Drive for elevated privileges logs? Have I created any programs?
Or is there anything out of character that you're specifically looking for?
Out of character, I'm looking to see if I created any program that would remind us that this day has happened before. And that we keep losing our memories at the beginning of the new day.
You have there's apparently no logs of like a timekeeper program.
I was actually going to do that when it got back to me.
Lauren,
birds of a feather.
Lauren, with elevated privileges, can you store the following recording and run it on our personal suits every time the clock hits 0001?
I can certainly comply with that. I would recommend not having it at 001.
Is there a reason for that recommendation?
As I recall, you were the only one awake at that time.
That's fair. Have it play until it stops. It'll either wake them up or they'll stop it whenever they wake up.
There's actually kind of like the sort of kind of like the tone of voice of like this is something I've been told I shouldn't do, but we're doing it anyway. This is kind of fun. It's like, of course, I will play it at I will input it into their suits microphones at suit speakers at maximum volume, and play it until they turn it off.
Maybe keep it at half volume. If they're doing something outside of normal schedules, they might be too startled and could fall off some ledge or something.
And will you be wanting me to put this as a crew-wide announcement or just for the enlightened personnel?
Store it in the enlightened personal suits and have it play from there.
Understood. I wait the input of the message.
Yeah, he nods and says, override access code 32 and override safety check 97. I presume...
Override a safety check.
Confirm. Access code set at 3.
I await the input of the file for the enlightened alarm.
I play the recording that Alice sent everyone.
Okay.
And then after the end, I go, so, good morning, mages.
How dare you?
Fuck off.
How dare you? Just how dare
Lauren,
you?
end recording.
She just noted that one down, and you can see it on Drive 4. You can see it appear instantly.
So we have to kill the dog for calling us mages. Clearly, the space madness is setting.
Yep. Yep. You could have at least said "Good morning, astronauts."
Yeah.
Also, why the fuck did you do it for 1 minute past midnight? Why?
I'll be awake then.
Yeah, you'll be awake. You're the only one with a fucked up sleeping schedule.
Lol.
I mean, it's only a 50%. So they're either wake up, hate it, or already be awake. It's fine. Don't worry about it.
Okay. Well, we can discuss that one further in the after show anyway.
I like the idea that Alice is fully aware of everything Raynell's doing, because like little alerts are coming up on her console saying Dr. Raynell is doing overrides of safety features, blah blah blah.
No,
and
that's what the point of the backdoor codes are.
Yeah.
They don't flag on the directory. That's why he's been using his developer privileges rather than going through the regular
Seems
channels.
sus. Seems sus. But
I mean, you would have similar access codes. Just
Sure.
yours would be legit. Mine are more. I designed the whole thing.
Yeah.
I can circumvent it.
Yeah, you
Yeah.
have the access codes for being the EXO and basically the keeper of the archives. Dr. Raynell has the access codes because he wrote the access codes
that's
and
fair.
then
I
decidedly didn't give you all of them.
Yeah, so I imagine what happens is, because Lauren's a computer, she can have this conversation with both of us at the same time. So
Yeah.
while Dr. Raynell is doing that, Alice is doing her own version. She's going, Lauren, we need to set up a protocol. No, actually, Lauren, we need to set up a protocol where a message plays automatically once we wake up.
Of
It
course,
will
Dr.
need
Mac.
to be a message.
What time would you wish to start this broadcast?
For each person, it should be after they've woken up and can fully process the broadcast, and it should probably repeat until they turn it off, just in case.
I love where this is going already.
I think we should each of us record our own personal message, so that we can not be quite as startled by hearing somebody else talking right into our helmets.
Of course. I would require additional recordings of the crew. How many crew do you wish to involve in this?
All of the enlightened crew. The rest are not affected by the memory loss, so they don't need the alert.
Understood. I would require additional recordings from Dr. Raynell, Mr. Wills, Dr. McClellan, and Commander Harahan. Commander Harahan's recording might be a bit more difficult to procure. She is currently unconscious.
What's her status? What's wrong with her?
I do not know.
You could query me at the same time.
I cannot access the terminal within the medical bay. It seems that the power loss has cut off that entire part of the ship for the time being.
Great. And she'll ping everyone, specifically all of the enlightened people, and just say, can everybody please record a wake-up call for Lauren to play once we wake up to make us aware of the current situation, so she doesn't have to keep reminding us herself, and we don't have to keep having these same conversations. Just a simple message saying, the basics. You forgot on the previous day. It's an ongoing effect. You'll forget tomorrow as well. Just something that would convince you and calm you first thing in the morning when you wake up. Thank you, and she'll end she'll end the broadcast.
Raynell specifically, you get this as you're still within the depths of the computer core.
I just stop what I'm doing, look around and go, Lauren, query, how many times has Dr. Mac attempted this?
There's a pause, and it's like in 27 attempts, this is the first time.
Interesting. I'll actually
do you
click my
suit? Dr. Mac has a similar plan to yours. Do you wish me to implement both? This one specifically to Dr. Raynell rather than...
Yeah, I know. Yeah.
Amazing.
I believe
I hope Gerbil does not watch this episode, so this is a surprise to him.
I believe Dr. Mac didn't specify location and made it a ship-wide announcement.
She specifically messaged everybody on private comms, all of the enlightened people. So,
you know what? Actually, I can actually do a voice recording for this, and then I will send you the file, and then you can actually attach it to the OBS.
Nice.
I figure that's
I
actually.
mean, I
in
could
order.
record it and just like play it.
That's true. That's true. That's true. I feel we should
Would-
do that
would-
though, because
would
that way
Laura-
we can get the same message each time.
Would Lauren have? Would Lauren like try to spruce it up with adding like background music and that to the message so it's even more loud and obnoxious?
Unless specified, no, because this. Well, okay, with no, actually she wouldn't, because neither Dr. Mac nor Dr. Raynell requested it, and because
Fair
both
enough.
of them were using official security keys. One of them is the official one of them is the backdoor key. She's not going to circumvent her commands for those particular
enough.
tasks.
Fair enough. So yeah.
I believe
her free will's not that advanced yet.
I believe
No, it's a self-preservation technique. She doesn't want to buck the trends of her programming because then she might get considered rampant.
I do believe Renel does ask. Did she ask you to override the security procedures to store it directly on the individual suit?
She did not. Her particular message would be kept within my computer core and then broadcast to the enlightened personnel via radio.
Perfect. In which case, let's run the test. Which one actually makes it through the time loop?
I will put both up as a scheduled event.
Thank you.
I will need, however, your suits to be plugged into the nearest computer terminal to upload the data. I'm sure you can come up with a reasonable excuse for your colleagues to do that.
No need. Suit override 37 alpha-23 allow use of wireless upload of firmware.
Can you confirm wireless upload of firmware? The wireless capabilities were disabled for a reason.
Localized enable of wireless capabilities for enlightened personnel suits. Code 97-3729.
Accepted. I will upload the data now. And actually, yeah, she's not going to try hide. Well, actually, she can't physically hide it because technically the suits are on a different operating system to her brain. So Dr. Mac and Steven, you just both get a ping of just file downloaded onto your suits, and then there's nothing else. You can't. And then if you try and find the file, it doesn't actually show up in the suits directory because it's essentially on a lower layer than the boot up layer.
Yeah. The fuck, Lauren? What? Did you just download something onto our suits?
Lauren, disable localized wireless.
Confirmed. And so at the terminal where Dr. Mac is like, it is the local version of the wake up protocol.
But we haven't recorded our messages yet.
I have recorded your one and sent it to your suit.
Okay.
Because she's she's getting better at lying.
Can I insight it to see if I can tell she's lying?
Sure, I will say you can do a I think it's wits insight.
I feel like that would be hard.
Oh yeah, no, it would be wits insight and it'll be difficulty 8 because she's specifically not using her VTuber avatar at the moment. And I
actually don't think insight is a thing.
Well, insight is a skill, I think.
Insight's not a skill.
Oh.
It's not there. Wits perception?
I think it's.
It'd either be perception or which perception is another attribute. So, would it be expression?
I think it'll be expression.
Yeah.
Huh. Yeah, wits expression then. That's weird. Yeah, it'd be wits expression, difficulty 8.
Okay then.
I could also see like wits investigation maybe, but
investigation I think it would be if you're actually looking into it for a long time. Expression would be just if you're just trying to gauge it on a conversation. That'll be how we're ruling it from now on. Might as well.
So
And
our
now we
security
all
officer,
wish that Inside was the thing.
Oh my god, yeah.
our security officer has no way of telling when people are lying. That's a good thing.
Oh my god,
Oh.
fantastic.
No one does. I don't think anyone picked up expression.
Mac did.
I've got a dot in the expression.
She has one dot in expression, and I find it quite amusing that the OCD quartermaster is the best judge of character in this crew. Yep, that's
2 successes.
Yay, 2 successes. Yeah, she seems to be telling the truth. It's obviously difficult to gauge expression just on an audio file, but you get the impression that she's telling the truth.
Yeah. Who gave you access to overriding the direct connection of our suits?
I granted myself temporary access for a single-use download.
Also, would Mac know that that has been disabled?
I mean,
She would know that she wouldn't know that there's actually a software restriction. She would know that the protocol is that all file downloads and transfers from suit to computer happen as a hard point. She doesn't know there's actually a software restriction on it. She just thinks it's part of the protocol.
yeah. It's just
Hence the use of I authorized a single-use download. I no longer have the permission.
Very well. I think that'll be all.
Yeah, in that case,
because I didn't get any insight into her, so I have no reason to mistrust her.
What do you guys want to do with the rest of your day? It is, of course, by shipboard time, it is around about 3 in the afternoon.
I have 2 questions.
Mm-hmm.
How does one go about enlightening someone? And my rest of my day is probably going to be explaining to Winter, that probably will be losing my memories, things. And 3, could I imbue an item with my memories to retrieve in the next day using mind?
So you are going to attempt. You are going to attempt to demonstrate the existence of magic to somebody that is already unstable and thinks they're hallucinating. Good luck.
No. I want to know about casting that spell. So I can, do that myself, and because I have plans. I want to try.
And then,
Sorry, I just saw something else that just made me giggle.
With how good my spell casting's been going today, yeah, this is a good idea.
Yeah, it's great.
So, Alice is going to then go to.
But yeah, that is possible. With Mind 2, you can imbue your memories of a certain time period or whatever your instant memories are onto an object, and then it'll basically be as soon as you interact with that object again, you can disable that and get your memories. Not so much get your memories back, but see what was recorded on it.
Pretty much, I'm going to explain this to Winner that I'm going to try. I have unique abilities because of my career. I'm going to do something to an item, and if it works and she shows me this item tomorrow, hopefully I will remember today.
Okay. I will need to actually have you roll for that one because it'll determine how successful you're. Okay, so I'll ask 3 things. What specifically are you encoding into the item? What do you want the trigger of interacting with this item? Because you're essentially creating a minor wonder. And how are you coding it basically?
I'm gonna take.
Oh, how long do you want it to last? Because obviously some wonders can lose their power over time.
Okay. I would only need it to last, until tomorrow. So I want it to last a day.
Okay.
until I redo it tomorrow. I'm taking off a wristwatch that I have,
Mm-hmm.
and I'm going to use that. I'm going to imbue it to that, and I'm going to give that to Winter.
Okay, so this will obviously be what after you guys have come out, come in from outside and taken off your suits.
Yeah.
Can you also make me a perception awareness check, please? Please tell me awareness. Yes, awareness is a skill.
Yeah.
Thank God.
And I actually have it. Only one dot, but it's there.
Just difficulty 6.
I mean, I have
tend
3
to just
dots
go
in it.
default 6.
2.
Yeah, you notice that there's obviously the main airlock bays have like suit storage and or rather there's a centralized suit storage because there's multiple airlocks. If it was just one airlock, they'd probably just have attached it to the same place. So when you go back to suit storage, you notice there's each suit rack essentially is designated for one suit, so you've got your names above them. You do notice, just looking around, that there are the 3 racks for the spare suits, but only one of the spare suits is actually there.
I would ask Winter about this then. Not if she knows that.
The ghost took the other suits.
Yeah. Which ghosts?
The nightmare ghosts as opposed to you.
Okay, first of all, thank you. I need to let the others know about the nightmare ghost, and 2, I'm not a ghost. And I
sorry,
offer her my
to...
wristwatch.
Yeah, she actually takes it and she doesn't put it on, but she just puts it in like the pocket of her she's got like sort of like overalls and like a boiler suit.
If I don't remember tomorrow, and if what I'm about to do works, give it to me tomorrow.
Okay, so roll the...
And I get out my rulebook, read rule 259, memorization of key offense.
Ensures smooth operation.
Yeah. Thank you. And I'm going to try and roll this. Is there a way to give myself more dice roll?
You can spend willpower to give yourself extra dice.
How much?
Steve's a Ferengi. He has the rules of acquisition.
How much willpower?
I think it's like
You can spend 1 point of willpower and only 1 point of willpower per turn to get an automatic success. You can also,
okay.
if it's a casting, spend quintessence.
Oh yeah, you can spend quintessence to lower the difficulty.
What's quintessence?
Quintessence is that little star on your quintessence tracker.
Okay.
Primal energy.
So I'm going to spend 1 willpower then to get a success. And what happens if I spend a quintessence?
You can spend a maximum of 3, and each spent quintessence lowers the difficulty by 1.
Then I'm also going to spend 1 quintessence then to lower the difficulty.
So that makes that'll make it a difficulty 5, but it's also going to be quite complex because you're imbuing an item, so you're going to need at least 3 successes.
Okay then. And
at least 2 successes because you've already bought a success with willpower.
Okay, and I can only do 1. You said correct, Shadow? 1
yeah,
willpower?
you can only spend 1 willpower per turn, and each cast is essentially a turn.
Okay. And this is mind.
Mind plus enlightenment, yes.
Except you can take more than 1 turn casting, so...
Yeah, when you do extended tests, things start to break apart a bit.
No modifiers.
I will actually give you a +1 dice to this because of the sentimental attachment of basically creating a wonder specifically for your ex.
Mm-hmm.
Also, this is coincidental because mind magic is great like that. It's pretty much always coincidental.
I would say not, because I've actually explained to her I'm doing magic, even if she doesn't fully understand it.
Oh,
But
in that case, it's vulgar with witnesses then, because you're saying
Yeah.
what you're doing beforehand. If you just handed her the watch after you'd cast it, it would have been coincidental, but this will be vulgar with witnesses.
No, there's just even trying to show her, this is something, to prove I'm here, and
Yeah, so actually so the vulgar with witnesses will actually increase the difficulty to 7.
I'm probably gonna fuck myself doing this, but again, it's what Stephen would do because
I love that. I love that idea of I am willingly shooting myself in the foot because it's a character interaction.
because he wants her to understand. There's more because there's clearly more shit going down here than we understand, and having her, not understand this shit is bad. This goes, and this is flying all over the face of his fucking, New World Order training.
Yeah, 100%.
Even though he doesn't have his earphone, his earpiece in anymore, because there was no point for it for this mission. Mentally, he's probably subconsciously hearing the ghosts of his fucking old handlers screaming at him.
No, you're not even hearing that. You're not even hearing that. You're literally just hearing you're hearing just exactly as a minor auditory hallucination, just your overseer saying this is an infraction. Just a very, very monotone voice. Oh, goddamn.
I think I actually set it to difficulty 7. I mean, not accidentally. I think I set it correct.
Yeah, difficulty 7 was the thing because vulgar with witnesses increases the difficulty. So you do generate paradox for, and however, even with the willpower success, that's not enough.
Can I retry?
Yeah, you can retry. It'll be the same modifiers.
I think you get a -1 for retrying. No. We can just go flat. I think I read that somewhere in the rule, but it's fine.
I think. Oh yeah, it's like if it's retrying within like a certain time frame, then yeah, it's a -1.
What does -1 mean?
As in -1 dice to it because it's basically it's essentially it's a similar penalty as like multi-action.
Aye. So do I still keep the +1 thing to make it a 0, or is it?
No, yeah, you still get the +1 because you're making it for your ex, so there's the emotional connection there. But you do take 2 points of paradox from that fail because it's vulgar with witnesses and you failed. Oh shit! No, sorry. That you take 3 points of paradox for that failure because that is a botch with a vulgar with witnesses, so you get more paradox on a botch.
Is it a botch because he has 1 success? Because willpower.
No, you're right. Yeah, no, it's just a fail. Never mind.
Oh, thank God, because so I have 4 paradox right now.
Yeah, and you're able to successfully imbue your memories into this wristwatch.
Yeah. Right.
Also occurs to me, and I realize that this is probably a stupid time to mention this, but we've never actually introduced what the characters look like.
Yeah, we explained.
We did that in session 0, which is only for patrons. We never actually did it for the full cast.
Well, if you want to know what the characters look like, give me money. I mean, what? No.
So yeah, so we have this skin-faced cat-looking man holding this watch and just trying to imbue. Yeah, me. And
I mean, the great thing about mind magic is that even when it's vulgar, it's still less vulgar than other vulgar effects.
Yeah, it's not like you're tearing a hole in space-time.
Mm-hmm.
Who would do that though?
I think the watch does have a sheen to it now.
Yeah, it's now that kind of sort of
Is there a way I can make this effect permanent?
I will say you can increase the duration with your 4th success, but it won't be permanent. It'll just last for like 2 days rather than 1.
Wasn't there a thing of spending paradox? I mean, spending quintessence.
Doesn't it become permanent if you invest quintessence or something?
Yep.
I would. What happens if I hit 0 quintessence?
Oh,
Nothing.
You just can't use quintessence anymore.
Yeah.
Fuck it.
Basically, quintessence are spendable points. Paradox is the opposite to quintessence.
Fuck it then. I'm going. I have no quintessence anymore,
All right.
but I'm gonna make it so from now on, every day, as long as she gives me this, I get my memories back.
Okay. I will. Yeah, I will. I will allow that. I'll say I'll say it'll last for just guaranteed a week, which is still seven goes around. So I'd say that's doable.
Why not just do that and just wear the watch?
Because it's a statement with her of I'm trying to be like, I'm real, I'm trusting you with this important thing.
Yeah, he's not doing it to gain his own memories back. He's doing it to convince Winters that he's actually alive.
Yeah, it's like, here is a physical item I have given you. I'm telling you there is shit you don't understand. I've explained to her magic is real now, and this will allow me to remember. If I forget again. For at least a week.
She does take it and as I said, puts it in her boiler suit and is just like, oh, okay. No idea what you're talking about. Like
I
genuinely, she's like, okay. But she's like, I will trust that. She's kind of like the. I desperately want this to be real, but also if there's like a hallucination, it's probably better to keep the hallucination on side.
Mm-hmm.
Look,
and now that things sort of settled down, we can actually now use the timetable that you guys wrote up.
Yay!
My timetable for today is going to be completely off.
Probably. Well, I mean, you can now start using it as of now rather than beforehand. Well, at least until you forget again.
Yeah. Before I forget again, I would like to check the status of the main sort of sensor array.
Sure.
Lauren, status for the main sensor array?
Out of character, just to clarify, you're asking for like the sensor suite that basically is for the ship's stuff.
The external.
Kind of yeah, so like, yeah, okay, yeah, I got it. You get oh, of course, Dad. You can see that she's actually a bit confused about that one herself.
Whatever feels natural, Lauren.
It's a learning curve. But yeah, the external sensor array is operating at 67% capacity. And then as she says that, there's like 65% capacity.
What caused the decrease in capacity?
What decrease in capacity?
Lauren, run self-diagnostics over the last interaction.
Understood. And she runs it back and external sensors are at 65% capacity.
Interesting. Bad chat. Bad. Sigh.
Yep.
Lauren, any logs of me attempting to repair those sensors?
There are 2 logs. The first log restored functionality from 37% to 42%. The second log from 42% to 53%.
Did anyone else attempt to repair?
The third log was from Lieutenant Winters before you returned to the ship. She restored it up to 65% functionality.
I see. locate the storage location for repair parts?
She just lists you. Actually, yeah, I know how to organize parts inventory. So it'd be Bay 12, Bin 4, Shelf 3.
Is Mr. Will back from his little jaunt?
Mr. Will has successfully brought back Lieutenant Winters. They are currently in crew quarters 2.
Is Dr. Mac by herself?
Dr. Mac is still in crew quarters 1 in the commander's oubliette.
Okay. He'll switch his comm to call Dr. Mac. Dr. Mac, care to go
Yes?
for a little jaunt outside? Let's repair this comms
sure.
array a little bit more.
Okay, will do. And she'll meet Dr. Raynell, presumably at the airlock.
Yep.
Yeah, so you
He comes with a cart carrying all the parts.
and presumably also like a clipboard with the requisitions form is like, and here's the parts I have withdrawn from storage.
Yep.
Clipboard. He did that through his tablet.
Yeah, but Dr. Mac likes having physical paperwork of everything that happens inside her storage facility.
Well,
Yep.
Dr. Mac is gonna have to print the electronic form because I don't know where that paperwork is.
I love this already.
Womp womp. I
He
imagine
hands you a
that's
tablet.
actually- Yeah, she takes it. How are we going to address the situation with the unenlightened being unable to properly perceive us? I have an idea in mind, but I'm curious what your thoughts are.
I'm assuming Mr. Will is taking care of that, so I'm gonna trust his best judgment. For now, we have a sensor suit to repair.
Let's hope we don't lose consciousness while we're outside.
I look at the clock.
Oh, it's about 5 in the afternoon.
It should be safe so long as we don't
you
spend
both get a
too
message
much.
saying Will says we need to talk important.
We're gonna be going outside to repair the sensor array. If you want to come,
No, come here first. This is more important.
Alice just raises an eyebrow. Okay, on our way. And
all right, do you go to crew quarters 2
Yeah.
where Stephen?
yeah, I just
Okay.
parked the
she
cart
just gives-
next to
she
their
just
lock.
gives- She
It's
just
like a
gives
fully
Raynell a shrug.
It's a fully covered parts cart because it's designed to be used in 0G. So it's actually got like a magnetic rail that then attaches to whichever is the floor for the current day.
Yep, I just like lock it there and go.
Yeah, it'll
This,
stay there.
this better be good.
All right, you head over to crew quarters 2.
Yep, I'm speed walking.
Stephen, what have you and Mackenzie been doing in the intervening time? Aside from enchanting the watch.
I would have gotten her food, and probably been like, "You are going to sleep. You need to go and rest."
Okay, yeah. So, Dr. Mac and Dr. Raynell, when you guys enter crew quarters 2, you see Mackenzie Winters, the pilot, and you can see her physical condition is one of those. How is she still awake right now?
Yeah.
She's kind of like shivering and has been given like a blanket from one of the bunks, and is sort of just hunched over one of the ration packs.
Oh dear. He'll like cautiously approach and be like, Miss Winters, are you all right?
She actually physically jumps and drops her spoon and almost
pick up the spoon.
She almost spills her meal, but was able to actually just stop it from sliding off the table.
Careful, she's not.
I've never.
Hello, Miss
I've never had I've never
Hand
had
her
3
the spoon?
hallucinations at the same time before.
Were not hallucinations. Probably
We are not
cognitive
hallucinations.
dissonance, given the... Interesting.
She very, very gingerly takes the spoon back and then just digs into her food again. Like, it's like, I need to focus on something, focus on the food. The food is real, I can taste the food. She's actually saying that as she's eating.
So I've enchanted an item which hopefully
There's a look from Renell like, what the fuck are you talking about, in front of the unenlightened personnel.
we don't have time to worry about that shit. Look, I tried to watch and gave it to Miss Winnes. Hopefully, it will restore my memories when she gives it to me tomorrow. If we do lose memories,
If we do lose memories, Mac already set it up so that we would be told.
being told and getting my memories back are two very different things.
Oh,
Well, not all-
Mac, you were told you would need voice samples of the other crew in order to actually feed them into the suit, because she claimed she only uploaded your one because she already had it on file.
I do need everyone to record a personal message to themselves so they can make themselves aware of the situation each morning. It will hopefully save at least some of the confusion and misunderstanding.
That's what that was another reason my watch is for. But my other thing is, Miss, I was speaking to why did her name escape me again? I am bad at
Miss
this.
Winters?
No,
Mackenzie?
Mackenzie
Mhm.
told me something very fucking dire. Which, as head of security, please explain to them what you said about the spare suits.
She looks up like with a mouthful of food and just kind of looks at the
Swallow first, Miss
hallucination
Winters.
of Stephen. It's the nightmare creatures came and took suits 9 and 10.
Lauren did say 2 of the suits were missing.
Lauren, run diagnostics. Did you detect any non-crew enter the ship?
The only ingresses and egresses from the ship have been logged to crew members. And then she lists. She literally just brings up an entire list of the last 27 days of who's left and who's come back and who's left and who's come back. The bit that stands out for that one is obviously each suit has its own serial number, and you do see at one point the 2 spare suits were checked out and then never returned.
But who would check them out?
Well, also given that each of the main suits is still attached to a person, like you can even see is like suit ID whichever Dr. Mac, suit ID whichever Dr. Raynell. It's these 2 are specifically listed as spare, and then they're just checked out of an airlock and then never returned. And this was about 8 days ago.
So they weren't checked out by anyone specific?
Miss Mackenzie, can you hear Lauren?
Yeah, the shipboard computer. She's been talking to me. I didn't realize. Wait, is that the voice I've been hearing? Is that the computer?
Yes. Lauren, you have been in contact with Miss Winters, correct?
I have been attempting contact with her, but with mixed success.
Alice is going to sit next to Miss Winters and just she's going to very, very gently take her hand and just say, Miss Winters, we are currently experiencing a situation that is affecting some of us differently. For myself, Dr. Raynell, and Mr. Wills and Dr. McClellan, we are losing our memory every day. For the rest of the crew, like yourself, you are experiencing heightened levels of anxiety and a certainty that what you are seeing or certain things you are seeing are not real. This is
where's Enrique? He went out 2 days ago.
We brought him back. He's currently
He's in the med bay with
Oh,
Dr.
right,
McClellan.
right. Yes. Yes, you'd said earlier he was brought
So-
back.
Sadly,
I don't.
the med bay door is currently locked down. Hopefully, we'll be able to get that sorted soon.
It's literally just a power failure.
You need to keep your mind strong in the coming days, because I can tell just by looking at you that you are very high strung and in desperate need of sleep. So, as your commanding officer, I'm ordering you to take 2 days rest.
That actually does seem to get an effect. As like you even with that, as the commanding officer, you see her just sort of stiffen a little bit, not in terms of her nerves or anything, but just like that instant come to attention.
Yeah. As your commanding officer, I am ordering you to take 2 days rest.
I will try. There's just not enough hours in the day to repair everything by myself.
Well, you're not by yourself.
You're not here by yourself. We are here. We're real. It is an effect on your mind that is making you think we are hallucinations, but we are real. I promise you.
What if the nightmares come back while I'm on leave?
What did the nightmares look like?
And what did they do?
They came in and they took the suits.
Did they say anything to you? Or to each other?
I don't like. There was like noise. I don't know what it was. It didn't sound like any language I'm familiar with.
Huh. It might be another.
Lauren, what's the status of the internal security cameras next to the airlock from which the 2 suits were removed?
It has been glitching for about 7 days.
Can you pull up the feed to my personal tablet whenever the suits were checked out?
Of course. It takes this one actually takes her a couple of seconds, which in computer time is a very long time before she actually sends you she actually pings it to a terminal to say the file's ready for transfer.
Yep. I play it.
Yeah, you get you get a video feed of like just the airlock, and this one is airlock number 5, which is actually in the remnants of the Tangler Bay. And you can see, actually, this is the first time you guys have seen this particular part of the ship since you haven't been there today. Yeah, it looks like a bomb went off in the Tangler Bay, and that's why you had to drive it around to the other side. But you see,
That's a little concerning.
what you see, however, is actually how much video footage are you asking for? Like, how many minutes or whatever?
Probably minus a minute from the suits being taken out.
Okay, so you see the suits. You see the airlock bay. It's actually a camera on the main airlock itself. It's just angled so that you can also see outside as well. So you see the airlock open in the inner door, and 2 spacesuits walk in. And
Lauren,
like,
can you
fully done
identify
up.
the spacesuits?
Those are those are suits, and she lists off the serial numbers of 2 of the spare suits. And these are coming from inside to outside, not outside to inside.
Okay. Lauren, can you play backwards?
How exact? And she actually does so. I take it you're still plugged into the data transfer point. And you see just several minutes just zoom past in reverse as she's spooling through the footage. There is no cycling of the airlock from outside to inside. And because of the damage to the Tangler Bay, you can assume that the outside is just the surface of Mars with
Alright.
very little atmosphere.
Lauren, can you judge from the angle, the direction, the space, the inhabited spaces we're walking from, and using that trajectory, attempt to use the cameras to track their movements backwards through the ship?
I unfortunately cannot give you the information from this particular camera feed. However, now that I know what I'm looking for, give me a couple of seconds and I will pull up the feed from the surviving cameras inside the Tangler Bay.
Meanwhile, I would like to take out my Switch,
Okay.
put in a different game cartridge, and I would like to effectively cast the dimensional sense
Okay.
to try to detect any weird anomalies, but enhance it with my correspondence to do ship-wide.
I would say you wouldn't be able to do that just from a recording. You would actually have to
No,
physically
I'm
be there.
like, well, I am in the ship.
Oh, okay, right, okay.
I'm
yeah.
using correspondence to make the area the whole ship, and then just
Okay.
do a scan for anomalies.
Are you looking for current anomalies? Because that would be what the current.
Yeah, I don't have time.
The current. Yeah, so the current anomalies. Sure, give me a roll for that one.
Sure.
It'll be difficulty. Difficulty 6, I think.
Okay.
It's because I'll list differences for you. Got -2 because you've got your personalized equipment, so that make it difficulty 4. But +2 because you don't actually know what you're looking for. You're having to do it as a wide net search.
Yep.
So
I mean, I know what I'm
difficulty 6.
looking for is just general anomalies. It's just very wide.
Yeah.
Modifiers?
Flat number of D6. So just difficulty 6 with your spirit.
Doesn't matter, they're the same.
Okay. Yeah, you are able to basically scan the entire ship. Are you basically just using detective vision on your Switch?
Yep.
Yeah, so you're basically just looking at the Switch, and because the Switch obviously has a camera on it, you're just kind of moving it around and everything just looks like slightly wireframe and everything, and you're kind of seeing everything like that.
Except it goes through like the whole ship because correspondence.
Yeah, so it's kind of like the map function. You just kind of zoom out again, but it's now specifically looking for dimensional mapping.
Yep.
So you see the blobs of basically consciousness. So you see yourself, you see Mac, you see Stephen, you see Mackenzie in a blob together. Then you see the other
blob of 3.
Yeah, the other 3. You see the other 3 in a blob in the medical bay.
Do I see a tiny little blob of magic on my watch?
Dimensional doesn't do.
No,
I'm not scanning magic.
That's a spirit thing rather than.
Yeah.
You see also a blob of, presumably what is Parsley, because Parsley just decided to stay in the computer core. After you left, they went, "Nah, I'm just going to stay here. I'm comfy."
Yeah.
You also see just not so much a blob, but you see essentially running through every single electrical circuit in the ship is another consciousness. And by process of elimination, that has to be Lauren.
Yeah.
You don't see any other sort of dimensional anomalies or phenomena in the ship.
Now, if I remember correctly...
And obviously it doesn't take you to Pylon 3 because it's physically severed from the ship and can't be connected. Same with the control room.
Because they're also separate.
Yep. Oh, actually, in that case, yeah. So it says the other. I might have miscounted the crew, but whatever. There is one crew missing because he was last seen in the control room for the Hell drive.
Right. I don't have space 4, so I can't ward us against spiritual entities. Damn it. Well, that's my to buy list.
I take it you show this to the others as well.
I don't find any traces or anything, right?
You don't find any in the essentially real time thing because basically, obviously, you don't have time, so you're having to scan it as what is the current dimensional status of the ship right now.
Right. There's no like traces of something spiritual was there.
You can see you can kind of see like vague spiritual stuff in the actual spacesuit storage bay, which is just like an offset part of the main storage chamber. That's about it. It's very faded.
Sadly, I not great with what happened in the past, but there doesn't seem to be any nightmares currently on the ship.
Well, they did leave with our suits.
Yes, so now if I can get back to repairing the sensor array, I can probably make it so that Lauren can detect them.
Also, I do have another theory about what's going on, but we can talk about that later.
Yeah, I've got a theory as well. Got a theory about who those two people in these spacesuits are.
Mackenzie has actually just passed out. Like,
oh, if
she's not even bothered going to her bunk. She literally just finished eating and just like face planted into the table.
Good.
I mean,
I think it took time. I think whatever happened to us took time to reconstruct because apparently none of us have been able to touch anything for the past few days.
No, I was able to repair the sensor array twice.
According to Miss Kenzie, we've not been able to touch anything for the past few days, or at least she didn't witness us doing so.
Yesterday we had a little bit of a spat. He says, looking directly at, well, so you left the Tangler. I kept going with McClellan towards the possibly Capricorn II that's stuck in a mountain.
Lauren, do you have any comments on what that fight was about?
Sorry, what there was just a glitch there in connection.
Yeah, so I have any records on what that fight was about in the Tangler?
It was actually mainly a fight between McClellan. No, actually, no, it was a fight mainly between Raynell and Wills. And Wills was actually saying we need to go back for Mackenzie.
That would have been on my notes, right? On my recording? Yeah, it's like,
yep.
You were saying that we should go back for Mackenzie. I probably, because I don't remember, wanted to be able to use our abilities, and having Mackenzie around would be detrimental to that. Replace Mackenzie with Miss Winters.
Yeah.
That makes sense, but look at her, god damn it.
I don't know why you ended up buried. That was weird. Or why my suit was all ripped. Or why the Tangler was pushed.
Yeah, on its side.
Could have got attacked by those nightmares.
Possibly, which is why I want to get back to repairing the sensor suite.
Alice will say, Lauren, do the Lauren, the damage to Dr. Raynell's spacesuit, is it does it correlate with an attempt to defend himself from an attacker?
And she actually is quiet for a second. She's like, Dr. Raynell, can you step up to the nearest camera, please?
Will do. He steps up and puts on the helmet and does the turn for scanning.
It's the stereotypical sort of blue light flashing as she scans you. It's like, the repaired suit damage is in accordance with both monomolecular weaponry and plasma burns.
That's concerning. Lauren, what was the Oh no, I don't know. It's out there. Do I? Damn it!
No.
I don't know
Well,
damn.
Dr. Raynell just mentioned about the potentially Capricorn II, which is the first you're hearing of it.
Yeah. What is this about the Capricorn II?
So I take out my Switch, bring up the PNG that I saved, that was the map, and then I show it to you and zoom in on the mountain.
Yeah, and funnily enough, there's also several points that you've also added to it, like in just image editing. So you've got where you started, where you found the Tangler and Dr. McClellan, where you found Stephen, the Capricorn 3, and then the mountain range with the Capricorn 2 embedded in it.
And the extra nacelle of the Capricorn 3.
Yeah, Pylon 3, which is also what Crew Quarters 3 is.
So what you're saying is we need to find a big radio tower to climb up to get more information for this map.
Shut up.
I already did that?
This is not a Ubisoft game.
My working theory,
to be fair, I effectively did that though.
My current working theory is that those two figures that came and took suits from our ship are two survivors from the Capricorn II. We need to get to that ship.
But then why would she?
I don't know. Clearly something happened to that ship. It's fused into a mountain. Something happened. We need to get to that ship and find out.
I will point out just to those who have the security clearance, which is Dr. Raynell, because you're part of the design team, and Dr. Matt, because you're the XO. The Capricorn II did not have a Hell drive. It just had a similar helical design ship pattern. It had something else powering it. And it's basically the Hell drive was we lost all mission data from the Capricorn II. We're going to have to start from scratch.
Yeah, the predecessor to the Hell drive is what powered the Capricorn II, and now the Capricorn II is fused into a mountain. I think it's safe to say that
the Hell drive is better.
I think she looks at you. We've been stuck on a planet for 27 days and can't remember each day. I don't know that that's better.
Well, we're not fused to a mountain. I'm calling that a win.
Find out
that is a very, very narrow win, Mr. Raynell.
You might be able to find out what was installed on the Capricorn II by digging through the archives, but I would have to say you'd have to roll for that because you need to cross-reference lots and lots of archives.
With our luck, it won't even be the Capricorn 2. It's just the Capricorn 3, but from a twisted, messed up timeline where we're all Lovecrafty and horror.
See, that was my immediate assumption.
That was in character, Doozer.
Okay then. That was my immediate assumption when I saw it. I'm hoping that it's the Capricorn 2 and that we are able to rescue 2 survivors from there, and then we'll all go home and everything will be fine. But given how this mission has gone thus far,
if you want to check the Capricorn 3's archives for any mention of the Capricorn 2, that will be a intelligence and either intelligence computer or intelligence investigation, depending on how you want to go about it.
Question: given that I was somewhat involved in its computer core, can I roll memory to see if I remember what the name was to sort of make the search easier?
It's the same dice pool for each.
That would be a. How was it we decided memory? It's wits intelligence, yeah?
I believe so, yeah.
Yeah, okay. That for you it'd be a wits intelligence as you're just trying to remember any of the files on it.
What's the difficulty?
Difficulty 6, because I'm just going to do skill checks as difficulty 6.
Okay, that's
actually
4 successes. Because a 10 is a guaranteed success.
Yeah, 4 successes. Oof. Yeah, it's too long ago. You can't really remember. You do eventually find, however, Dr. Mack, as you're looking through the ship's archives with your security clearance as XO. There's obviously a couple of files which are restricted to Commander only, and you're technically only the XO, so you don't have access to those.
Yes.
Lauren.
Can you please unrestrict these files?
I cannot. They
Lauren.
require the Commander's direct security key.
Right now, this is Lauren. Execute. Down Commander protocol. Commander's unconscious. You can verify the suit readings. XO becomes temporary commander until commander is awake.
Understood. Commander is unable to carry out their duties. The executive officer assumes temporary command of the ship.
Thank
and
you,
then
Lauren.
you see a couple of the flags just open up again.
Yeah.
How many people do I have to knock out until I become commander of the ship? Stephen jokingly says.
All of them.
That would be a serious insubordination, Mr. Wills, and would be it's punishable with court-martial and summary execution.
Ah, but if I knock out everyone above me and take the lead, I can pardon myself. Foolproof plan.
No, that's not how that works, right?
I know, but I'm stressed and worried. I need to de-stress. Levity.
Anyway, getting a bit more back on track,
Yeah.
or more specifically for the roles, because with 4 successes, you are able to find that the Capricorn II was the again, it was experimental, but because it disappeared and there was no experiment logs, they just had to start with a completely new idea. You have the fractal energetic agitation relay, which was the propulsion system.
Was that fractal energetic?
Agitation relay.
Fear. It's a fear drive.
Yep.
And Alice looks at that. We really need to come up with better acronyms.
You really need to talk to the Void Engineers R&D department because they're the ones who name everything.
Can't you find acronyms?
So they turn to me.
Yeah, I imagine Alice just looks at Raynell and is just like, fear in hell? Really?
Couldn't you find an acronym for like puppy or something?
Yes, probably.
But what's the fun in that?
But yes, and also I wasn't involved on either. My side of the R&D involves Lauren, not the drive.
So,
Now, my mentor, you can blame him for those.
And yeah,
At least
she's just gonna read. She's gonna read the restricted files as well. Let's see if there's any pertinent info.
The most you can find is because obviously the fear drive was not attached to this ship. It's basically a footnote in any of the archives. It just says like this was just what was on the Capricorn II, and there's very little information because the Capricorn II never came back. So the most you can get is as a very rudimentary understanding of vaguely how the fear drive works is that it essentially uses quantum fractals in order to split the ship into multiple versions of itself and then basically slams those together at very high speeds in order to propel the ship.
I think we know how it got stuck into a mountain.
Yeah.
Who? I think she's just looking at it, like looking over maybe schematics, or at least. No,
there's not even schematics. This is just an engineer's report from the R&D department.
Yeah, she's looking at that and she's like, she says, "What is wrong with you? Why would you design something so dangerous?"
I didn't. But I do know who was involved. And yeah, no, that tracks.
No, sorry, what's your mentor's name again? I'm forgetting the pronunciation.
Pavlovsky.
Yeah, Dr. Pavlovsky, you would actually know, joined the R&D department of the Void Engineers after the Capricorn II went missing.
Oh, yeah, no. but he's still blaming the hell drive on Pavlovsky.
Oh, of course. Pavlovsky
Pav-
is definitely something that Pavlovsky would have just gone with because he's like
that name
scientist.
rings a bell.
That's the one.
That name.
So you would know at least that you don't actually know who designed the fear drive, but the hell drive at least, you're pretty much guaranteed that your mentor had a hand in naming that.
Right now, Steven's in the background scrolling through his phone for something, and then he clicks a button, and you just hear the clip from the Universal Frankenstein. Now I know what it feels like to be God. I think that should just be the Void Engineer's slogan.
I don't think we try that. We just mostly try to, explore. And
Besides,
sometimes to explore, you need very dangerous ships.
But also, you're a Void Engineer. You understand exactly what the mentality is, and it's literally just the R&D department are a bunch of hyper nerds. Of course, they're just going to be naming things based on things that sound cool.
Yeah, but he's not going to reveal the secret.
It's a good one.
Yeah, that's a trade secret. That's a company secret. You don't reveal that.
Yeah.
If we ever get back to Earth, I may need to report to my superiors that the Void Engineers need a fair bit more babysitting.
Or both.
I don't think we need babysitting. We're quite capable by ourselves.
You made a ship powered by a fear drive that got fused to a mountain. I think you definitely need babysitting.
I don't think any other convention would have done better or gotten there.
The Mars rover did not become fused to a mountain.
And who sent the Mars rover?
Actually, no. We're in 2014, so the Mars rover hasn't been launched yet.
No, not the most recent one, but there's still like 4 of them.
Yeah, there's still like 4 others. And Raynell does give you a pointed, and who sent those? Wasn't you.
And it wasn't the Void Engineers. That was NASA.
Yeah, she just says, wasn't you either.
Chat's calling it as it is. The Void Engineers clearly need adult supervision.
I'm pretty sure the New World Order helped fund that program with NASA, so I'm taking credit for it.
If anything, the Syndicate funded it because they're the ones where money is literally their superpower.
Yeah.
Shh. They don't need to know that.
Also, pretty sure there was at least one Void Engineer scientist in the NASA team.
Oh, probably. There's been Void Engineers in NASA since its inception, but
Yeah,
nobody.
so really-
everyone in NASA just thinks the Void Engineers are just a branch of NASA.
So really, who sent it?
I like how you're just having this argument over which convention is better.
Hey.
Distraction.
I don't even remember which convention Alice it belongs to.
We here at the New World Order probably supported the MK Ultra experiments. Those are healthy, right?
Oh, you're Dr. Mac. You're from Iteration X,
Which is
they're one of between Iteration X and basically the Iteration X is trying to achieve perfection through repetition, basically just removing variables each time.
It's like
you're trying to get the perfect human by removing variables each progression.
All right. Yes. I think she's just. I know the site. Like, no, I can't think of anything witty to say. There, my brain's not working.
Fair enough.
Just, yeah.
As you're actually having this conversation, while Mackenzie is just passed out from stress and fatigue,
I would have hoped someone looks at Mr. Well. Would have taken her head out of the food.
Oh, she finished her food first.
Then
out of the bowl.
She literally just finished her food and then just went poof.
Yeah, and
out of the bowl and into a bed.
Yeah, we would have put her on a bunk and put a blanket over her, handed her stuff money.
She is obeying a direct order. Lol.
You as you're having this argument over, I like. We might as well just keep this in character. You guys just started arguing over whose convention's better. As you're arguing about that one, you just hear a knock on the window.
Look at the window.
We look in the window.
You see you do actually see just the visor of a spacesuit, but it is completely black tinted. You cannot see inside.
Can I
Lauren?
run the scan again?
Yeah. Can I slow down time around that figure so that we can get out there and talk to them?
Can I just think in the figure's mind? Can I help you?
Yes. Let's make a telepathic connection with an unknown entity. Well done.
Before any of you can react, however, is literally you just hear the tapping on the window, and it's obviously very armored glass, but it's just a very polite tap.
Yeah.
And before any of you can react, before you can do the mind link, before you can do the time, before even as you're bringing the switch up, it just disappears like that. Like not even just like going out of view, it just disappears.
I would like to still run my scan because something was definitely on the other side of that.
Yep.
Yeah.
You can run your scan.
Lauren, did you? What the? Okay. Will's with me. We're going out there and having a look. And they're gonna go to an airlock and go outside.
If they are fucking faster than Nevada or Mars, I will be very disappointed.
She is also definitely stopping by the armory and picking up like a plasma rifle.
Okay.
Yep, I'm definitely grabbing an energy weapon.
Yeah, you got plasma pistols, plasma rifles. So you got basically what, one plasma pistol per person, one plasma rifle per 2 people, and one plasma cannon per 4 people.
I've got no dots in firearms or energy weapons. Okay, I guess I don't then. Oh well.
My arm just my arm just shifts into a more weapon form.
Oh yeah, you specifically also have a modified spacesuit to allow you to do this without wrecking the arms every time.
I have lots of energy weapons, so.
So do you want to be the saw with the plasma cannon? Do you want to be the rifleman with the plasma rifle, or do you just want to all have pistols? Because that's the way I made the breakdowns. The pistols are what everyone has, basically.
I have my gun.
I'm gonna go with a pistol because I'm, not super intent on firing. But I'm also gonna make sure that we deviate so I can perform repairs while they protect me.
Alice
I will also
is
say that
gonna.
the plasma cannon
Sorry, what?
would
You're
require
breaking up.
actually taking out the plasma cannon's backpack. Just saying that the plasma cannon comes with an actual back-mounted energy pack because it's so large that it requires an external battery.
All right, Alice taps a few commands onto the keypad, and she activates the backup, the robot she has on this ship that is security. And she's going to program it to patrol outside, starting with that window.
Okay. And I think with that, we will end it there because we are actually quite over.
Yeah.
Today.
Yeah, I just like the idea that the final camera shot is just we see Alice type a few commands and then the camera cuts to a room, like a storage room. And then we just see this like humanoid figure and then just glowing red eyes.
We agreed on what the security bots look like, and because it's the Capricorn, the security bots are like mechanical goats.
Oh right, yeah. It's this little 4-legged creature, and then glowing eyes, and we see the little horns growing out of its head. So
we just have an epic, combat ready montage. Someone turns on the goats. You guys grab your weapons. I make sure the bunny in Winter's arm is nice and snuggly.
Aww.
And yeah, we will pick it up next time.
I am saving this woman's mental health, goddammit.
It's like, I will save this woman's mind or die trying.
I love how much of a hard shift the Wills is from Joey.
I love it. I really love it. It's good.
Yeah.
So next time, hopefully.
Whereas me having played with Ryan a bunch of times, I'm like, Ryan's playing a nice character. I don't trust it. He's playing a nice and mentally stable, emotionally mature character, and I'm not okay with this.
There is a degree of emotional instability that is required to have a needle gun installed in your arm at the expense of
That's
becoming
fair.
a cat
That's
boy.
fair.
So there's some degree of being nuts that is a threshold for that one.
I think that's more Stephen's complex of not caring about himself. Like Stephen cares more about others than himself. So it's like,
Okay, yeah, that makes
like,
sense.
This is good after show material. So
It is.
So,
Speaking
everyone.
of the after show,
Yeah, we
we're
should
going to
probably close this
record
out,
that.
actually.
And if you want to watch the after show, you can do so over on patreon.com/The Explorers League. For £5 a month, you can watch our after shows and session zeros. Also, I forgot to say at the beginning of the episode, but the music you were listening to was Miracle of Sound, because he's awesome. And
And has graciously given us permission to use his stuff.
remember, come to Ryan 9940 on Thursday to watch Power Rangers.
Oh yeah,
content.
do your shilling.
go watch his Power Rangers show. It's awesome when it starts.
One of the Power Rangers is powered by the Mothman.
What's not to love?
Oh, because you're doing cryptid Power Rangers. I forgot about that one.
anyhow, go Power Rangers.
Go Power Rangers.
Go.
Bye.
Techno mate. I don't know. Bye.
Nice.